Hey, I'm Van. If you didn't watch my last video, this channel does not have so much the purpose of entertaining more than it is just for me to kind of, have an outlet to just drop my emotion somewhere. And my only rule for this is that I have to do it on one take, which is horrible for my anxiety because I'm that sort of person that just re-records every audio I send to a friend like 1,000 times and and like for everything I have to record it like a million fucking times. So this will be interesting. So one take, and well, let's get into the topic. Feeling unlovable. I wanted to start off strong, especially because this topic has made it difficult for me to wake up in bed and stuff like that. And this topic hasn't really been nice to me. It's very rational. I know it's very rational, but I guess it's just like a very weird part of me that even when they're talking to someone, even when they're having fun, even I guess it's just that thing that even when I'm talking to someone, I just don't feel a part of a group. Even when maybe they're having fun with me, maybe even when they're enjoying hanging around with me, I just simply never feel like I'm there. It's just a weird thing to express. I don't feel like I deserve appreciation. I feel like I'm a very, I don't know, shallow person personality wise. I feel like I don't really bring much to the table as in any way as a friend or as anything else. So it's hard to approach people when I feel so unworthy of that. And again, it just comes down to my personality. I have like a very again I do approach people every now and then. I do get along with them, and I haven't had problems with anyone. But the thing is, again, I just don't feel I deserve it. It's just weird. But I feel that every time for example, I have my best friend, and I really appreciate them a lot. But every time I talk to them, it's just like yeah, I've met their other friends, and every time I think about myself being a friend with them, I think like every friend of theirs that I've met have my same personality, have like traits that I have, but a lot better. So I feel like I don't like. What's the point of having me as a friend if everyone else does it better? And I don't know. I just there's just a weird. I guess it's a self-esteem thing. I just cannot imagine someone like finding something worthwhile in me as a person. And it's difficult, right? It makes it difficult because it's a vicious cycle in which I feel unlovable. I feel like I don't deserve any sort of appreciation. So I have a strong emotional barrier, which makes it difficult for people to get close to me. And so it fuels this unlovable aspect of it. It's a horrible cycle that I've been stuck in for years. I know it's a self-esteem thing, but still I just feel I talk to people, and I don't know, I've always felt I live half of my life only. I don't I don't have any crazy ex stories. I don't have any crazy party stories. I don't really dance. I get overwhelmed with those sort of environments. I've never been like a party guy or stuff like that, even if part of me wanted to because of the feeling of normality that it brings. But all of this like really took a toll on my self esteem, I guess. There are a couple of dumbass dogs barking in the background, but try to ignore it. But yeah, the point is that, again, feeling lovable, I know it's something irrational, but it's hard still for me to deal with that. I think the biggest problem of that is that vicious cycle that I mentioned. And the fact that even if I have these close friends that I've known for years, I still feel like at some point people will just realize that I'm not as interesting or as great as they think I am, and they'll just leave me. It's just kind of weird. And as I record more videos, you'll probably notice this is a constant thing for a lot of aspects of my life. But I feel like at some point the world will just come crashing down onto me. But I feel like the world will just come crashing down on me at any point. I don't know when it will happen, but I feel it will happen inevitably. And again, it makes it so difficult because I truly like some people, and again, I don't know any of you watching this, so I don't mind being more honest. But I remember I was trying to date this girl, right? And I'll probably talk more about it later, but basically I wanted to feel something, right? I wanted to know what it was like. So I started talking to this girl. I'm not really flirty. I'm kind of an idiot when it comes to that. So my way of flirting is just kind of being nice and being very clear on what I want, right? So that's kind of funny. So I was talking to her, and at some point I asked her out on a date. And I was like, "Hey, let's go somewhere." And she was like, "All right." Everything was going flawlessly. And I just couldn't continue from it. I couldn't even go to the first date. I ended up, and it felt horrible afterwards. I ended up ghosting her because I just felt like, what's the point? Like, I won't be enough anyways, right? So it's that sort of self sabotage that in itself fuels my problem. And it's just something, it's very hard to get out of it. And again, romance and that sort of thing is a complicated topic for me, and I'll go more into it later on. But for now, that is the main thing. How that feeling unlovable is horrible because you constantly self sabotage yourself because you think so little of yourself. So I end up, in my case, I end up like on that specific scenario. I don't know if it could have gone well or bad, but I just never knew. I just never figured out what would have happened because I never tried it. And it fuels this mentality that I don't deserve it. I'm unlovable because I couldn't even follow through with it. Um, right. So I feel like I could be more open with people. I feel I wish I could just let myself. I wish I could just let myself feel more because that's also one of my biggest problems, that I don't let myself feel enough, and I don't feel much in general. I don't feel like gratification for a lot of stuff. So it has to do with that, with the fact that when you think so little of yourself, everything good that happens to you, it just like it feels like a miracle, but at the same time, it's like, my first thought usually is like, how long will it last? So I don't really get excited. And I get it has hurt me regarding flirting, and not even just, and it has not even just affected romance and that sort of aspect of my life. It has affected mostly my friendships. Again, when I visit even like my best friend's house, I feel like I'm one more boring comment or one more, I don't know, bad joke away from getting kicked out and not being talked to again. So it makes it very difficult just to go out. So, but I am working on it. Again, I at least I'm going to look on the positive side. I do recognize it is completely irrational. It's not that I'm literally unlovable, but it certainly does feel that way, and the self sabotage makes it really difficult for me to like go over it. And that self sabotage makes it really difficult for me to work over this obstacle. But again, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm on day 2 of pills, so of antidepressants. So I just recently got diagnosed, and depression and anxiety. So it has been pretty interesting. And maybe I'll get diagnosed with something else. My psychiatrist told me we'll see what happens. So yeah, I think that is all I wanted to say about feeling unlovable and how it affected my life, even though I know it's completely irrational, and the self sabotage that comes along with it, and all that stuff. I hope this wasn't too gloomy. I hope it wasn't too melancholic. Um, because if someone is watching this, I don't think so. But if someone is watching this, I hope I didn't make their day much worse. So yeah, but I hope you have a nice day. I'll surely try to have one. See you later.